Happy Tuesday, everybody. So I've been spending a lot of time talking about all kinds of personal finance things lately, but today I want to break it down and talk about 4 steps that you can take to get started building wealth. Before I get started with that, just wanted to remind you all that I've got that giveaway going on. I'll be giving away The Wealthy Barber, which is a fantastic book. It ends April 19th, and you can be entered to win it by either following on Twitter, liking on Facebook, or subscribing here on YouTube. Now, before I get on with this list, one other quick thing to note is that time is one of the most valuable things you have now as a young person. This is because you'll have more time to let your investments grow, and the second reason is because time actually reduces your risk factors. If the market crashes tomorrow and you continue buying, you're actually buying investments at a cheaper price, so you're getting a better bang for your buck, and once the markets recover, you're gonna see a massive bump in your investments too. It's better to get started now than when it's too late in the future. But without further ado, let's get to that list, starting with step 1. So the first thing you should do is dust off the old savings account. And if you're like, wait, Austin, I don't have a savings account, then you need to go back to step 0.5. You should get a savings account. If your next concern is, but Austin, I don't have any money, well, then you need to go back to step 0, which is basically find an income, whether it's starting your own business or getting a job. You need an income first, of course. So back to finishing step 1, dust off your savings account and start using it. So next is step 2. So step 2 would be to auto deposit 10% of your paycheck or your income, salary, whatever, and have that going to one of 2 different places. The first place would be to pay off your debts, especially if it's a credit card debt. You should probably make sure you get that covered because there's a lot of interest on credit card debts. So maybe even throw more than 10% of your income towards paying that off because that's gonna free up your money a lot quicker. The second could be to your emergency fund or a nest egg or whatever you'd like to call it, and you can kind of set that amount to whatever you would prefer. For me, I'm having it set to 6 months of income essentially, but is there only for the specific reason of an emergency or losing a job, etc. And if you're doing this quite comfortably already, maybe you can be depositing more than 10%, or you could be splitting that 10% up between paying off your debts if it's like a student loan, and contributing to your emergency fund or nest egg. And the reason why I emphasize the auto deposit is because of pay yourself first. So this should be happening every 2 weeks when you get your paycheck. So that 10% comes out of your paycheck, you won't even know it's gone, and this is gonna make it a lot easier for you so you don't have to make budgets or worry that you're gonna have enough at the end of the month to put into your account. Just pay yourself first. And that can easily be accomplished this way through doing auto deposits. So once you get that sorted out, that brings me to step 3. So once your debts are paid off and you've got your nest egg or emergency fund set and secured, then start investing. And this is really the only way you can build wealth for the future. If you're not investing and just have your money sitting in a pretty useless savings account where you're getting 0.00001%, then you're actually losing money because every year with inflation, which is about 2%, your money gets 2% less value as you hold on to it. So if you're investing and earning at least 2%, then you're staying even. But if you're investing and making more than that, then you're building wealth for the future. And if you're like, but Austin, investing's a lot of risk and I'm scared and I don't want to lose all my money, then the best thing I would recommend, and this is what I do, is to use dollar cost averaging, which is essentially consistently putting money into your investment regardless of what the markets are doing. And that's gonna help you reduce losses and increase gains over the long term. And if you want to learn more about dollar cost averaging, you can check out my video on auto deposits, and that's something that I focus on in that video. Another way to avoid the risk is to start buying funds rather than just common stocks, so like a share of Google or a share of Walmart. Put your money into something like a mutual fund or an ETF. And I would mostly recommend an ETF because you have a lot lower management fees on that than you would having a mutual fund. If you're the kind of person who needs that support, then maybe your best option would be to go to a banker or an investor and get that personal connection with them, and they can get your money put away into a different place like a mutual fund or an ETF, whatever you decide is best for you. But if you don't necessarily need that support, then I would recommend something like a robo-investor, which is what I use. So something like Wealth Simple. And no, this isn't a paid sponsorship. It's just that I use them and I think it's a good idea. With a robo-investor, because there isn't a person who's doing the work to invest your money, you can reduce your fees as well, compared to using an investor or a banker, etc. And that brings us to step 4, which is wait. Once you've got that 10% of your income auto-depositing into your investments, then all you need to do is wait. With the magic of compound interest, you'll see over the long term, and I'm talking about a window of 5 years or longer, that there's a very, very good chance you're going to end up ahead. By purchasing funds like ETFs or mutual funds or index funds, you're reducing your risk and diversifying the places that your money is in. So that's going to help reduce your losses and your fees and increase your gains over time. And from this point, you just check every once in a while, make sure things are going well, and if not, then maybe do some research and move some money around to a place that works best for you. And that's how you build wealth for the future. So step 0, get an income. Step 0.5, open a savings account. Maybe a tax-free savings account if that's better for you. Step 1 is to use that account. Step 2, start auto-depositing to pay off your debts or to start putting some savings together. Step 3, start auto-depositing to invest. And step 4, wait. If there are any parts of this that are unclear or you're not so sure about, then send me a message, ask me about this. I'd be happy to talk to you, learn as much as you can about this, and that's only going to help you in the future. But the most important thing about all of this is to start. Action trumps everything. In this scenario, time is literally money. The longer you wait or put this off, the less time your money has to compound and help you live comfortably in the future. So that's everything for now, and I hope this helps clear the air for any of your concerns for how to get started with building wealth. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, ask other people, do everything you can to learn more about this. But I guess with that, I will see you on Thursday. Have a great night. Bye. Done.